A lot of concern around the fact that a growing number of teenagers in Canada aren't using condoms, and that has health experts sounding the alarm. A new report from the World Health Organization surveyed 15-year-olds in 42 countries. In Canada, it found that 1 in 3 sexually active teens were not using condoms. That's a 4% decrease in condom use since 2014. This report comes as more people are testing positive for STIs in the country. Shaman Mohammed Jr. is the president and founder of Let's Stop AIDS. It's a charity focusing on improving youth sexual health, and he's our guest in studio. Welcome.
Well, thank you for inviting me here today.
This is a shocking statistic. The WHO report saying that a number of sexually active teenagers hasn't changed in over a decade. So why are teens using condoms less?
Well, let's think about this from the perspective of a 15-year-old. Let's pretend that you're a 15-year-old that wants to go and have sex for the first time. First, there's the confidence to walk into a drugstore and even think about buying condoms. Then there's the question about with what money? Are you going to ask your parents for money? Are you going to borrow money? And then on top of all of this, it's about figuring out, why is this even important? This is a growing concern about talking about condoms here right now in our country, is really about making sure that young people feel that they can even have this discussion, have the knowledge to make those decisions.
Those issues, though, have always been there, right? The lack of money for teenagers and the fear of walking into the pharmacy or to the drugstore, like that's always existed. Why is the usage rates going down?
Well, a lot has changed. I think the issue with condom use has really been, I would say, a threefold. Really, it's been a lot of it comes down to the lack of condom use also deals with a lot of personal choices, pressures from others, and also the need and access to it is actually very limited. So when you combine these factors, especially with our current health and sexual education system that we currently have, it prevents and associates condom use strictly with pregnancies and STIs, which is actually a major concern.
Yeah, and so I wanted to ask you about that, because we have seen across the country changes to our sexual education curriculum. And do you find that that is affecting how teens are protecting themselves in sex?
Oh, absolutely. So at Let's Stop AIDS, we believe there needs to be reform in sexual education. And reform means that right now, a lot of our education that we have needs to be more reliable, needs to be more complete and up-to-date with information. A lot of our information revolves around pregnancies and STIs. But there's also these other issues that come up that we need to discuss more about, like being culturally sensitive, gender identity, women's rights issues, consent. These are really relevant topics. At Let's Stop AIDS, we actually host workshops across our country in Ontario and Saskatchewan. This year alone, we did 95 workshops. That's 1,800 young people. And at the start of the survey, we asked them a question about their HIV knowledge and prevention. Only 31% knew they knew about HIV. At the end of that workshop, it went to 72%. Now, that's shocking. With one simple workshop, we're able to increase knowledge and awareness. Imagine if there was many other groups and organizations and a coordinated effort of doing this, and how informed our young society would be.
Yeah, well, hopefully we could change some of those numbers. What are the STIs that are of main concern right now?
So, of course, Canada has a growing rate of gonorrhea, chlamydia, other things, but HIV has also been on the rise in Canada. And this has been concerned, about understanding that there's options out there. For many people watching, may not know that there are other options other than just condoms as well to prevent HIV. Like, for example, we have tools called PrEP, that if you take a pill every day, it can prevent your chance of getting HIV. Or if you're in a riskier sexual situation, you can take something called PEP that actually can prevent you from becoming HIV positive. These tools exist, and without a coordinated approach of both our governments, teachers, parents, and youth themselves, we won't be able to make sure this is a collective effort of everyone.
We're talking just about Canada here, but then what can Canada learn from what maybe other countries are doing? We know that the increase is happening worldwide, but there are countries that are taking different approaches.
Absolutely. It's not that anyone is failing. It's not that Canada is failing. It's that we need to work better together and to make this accessible. We need to make sure that access to condoms, access to sexual information is available and easy to access. We live in a digital era where there's so much online of misinformation and fake news. It's our responsibility to make sure that we can learn from others and actually provide young people trustworthy, noteworthy information.
Shaman, I want to thank you for being on today.
Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.